Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Um, Thank you for the participation. We're looking forward to some of the other attendees also to join us in some time. So, in the meanwhile, we will be giving you a purview about CCAMP in a small video that we have at our end. We will also be taking the questions in the Q&A box in case you have any all through the presentation. And in case you have any questions that you would like to ask us directly, we would request you to kindly raise your hands and keep it raised till the question has been addressed to. We will be covering aspects all through the BIG grant, primarily with respect to proposal writing. We will also be covering do's and don'ts as well as some options that you have that you should take care of if you are a repeat applicant nonetheless. In case you have some of your friends who might be joining us a little later or may not be able to make with today at 11 a.m. because of some other commitments, the same webinar has been streamed live on YouTube. So once the session has closed, we will be sharing with you the link of the YouTube session over email. So that is something that we can go ahead with. So I will just be starting the video of CCAMP and we can take it forward from there. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm not able to hear.
We are among those who believe we can change the world with ideas, with purpose, with people, and with science. We enable innovators and researchers to create change through innovation and impact. We are addressing ways to mitigate AMR mortality rates. We are helping protect India's farmers from toxic pesticides. We are designing devices to monitor neonatal sepsis. We are focused on eliminating ICU-acquired infections. And we are working on agri-production by boosting crop health. We are CCAMP, the Center for Cellular and Molecular Platforms, a unique hub enabling bioscience research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. At CCAMP, we believe in creating synergistic partnerships and building innovations for people the world over. CCAMP is committed to creating a single platform for researchers, innovators, entrepreneurs, government funding agencies, venture capitalists, institutional investors, and stakeholders across all domains of the biotech industry. We equip our innovators with the tools, technology, and know-how needed to get started. Startups with the CCAMP Edge benefit from state-of-the-art plug-and-play incubation facilities, early-stage grant and seed funding, and entrepreneurship development and mentorship programs. Life science researchers at CCAMP have access to a host of analytical services and training on our technology platforms, thereby ensuring unhindered research.
We see ourselves as enabler of high-end science and deep science innovations, mostly to make sure that science actually comes and delivers to the societal needs. And this can happen with taking science towards the next levels of development and innovations. CCAM plays a pivotal role in taking science to that level for society as well as economic growth.
CCAMP is significantly leveraged as part of the Bangalore Life Sciences Cluster, a triad of scientific excellence in biological research and innovation.
As a part of the cluster, CCAMP is a very important element because it provides access to the enormous resources of the cluster for the benefit of many of the startups that CCAM incubates, as well as many of the neighboring institutions and institutions across the country and the world that are able to access the resources and technologies that we have developed on the cluster.
Since its inception in 2009, CCAMP has forged connections across India to foster research and innovation. CCAMP has delivered 3,000 plus projects with over 425 plus institutions and has supported over 180 publications. In addition, 200 plus startups have been funded, incubated and mentored. We have over 2,000 plus connected startups in total, and close to 72 of these have received follow-on funding of 772 crore rupees. We also have over 21 products at market and filed more than 180 patents. Today, CCAMP startups employ more than 650 plus people. Over the past few years, CCAMP has emerged as a thriving bio-innovation hub. We are recognized and awarded for our commitment and excellence, both in India and internationally. CCAMP works towards connecting India with the world's innovators and leveraging global solutions to address India's specific needs. CCAMP played a major role in India's response to COVID-19 through three major programs. 1. CCAMP COVID-19 Innovations Deployment Accelerator, CCIDA, which identified and fast-tracked 30 deployment-ready innovations in diagnostics, preventatives, therapeutics, and vaccines. 2. National Biomedical Resources Indigenization Consortium NBRIC, CCAMP-led National Public-Private Partnership to fuel indigenous biomedical technologies for COVID-19. 3. Indigenization of Diagnostics or INDX program, a Rockefeller Foundation-supported initiative that is ramping up indigenous manufacturing of COVID-19 diagnostic kits. are seeking national and international partners to join us in being change makers for a better tomorrow.
Hi, am I audible now? All right, I'll just restart the presentation. Apologies for this. So, as an enabler of bioscience research and innovation in India, we provide access to training as well as access to high-end technology resources to the researchers and also create a research translation program and entrepreneurial support towards creating impactful innovations. So, the access and the training to high-end technologies happens either whether or not you are supported via funding at CCAM. Primarily, the application for the Biotechnology Ignition Grant requires an LOI from CCAM, a letter of intent. And in case you feel that any of the high-end technology resources on your screen would be able to further either your, BIG grant or your research otherwise, you can actually claim the support of BIG to actually use the technology resources on your screen presently. In addition, to providing the access to these technology resources on a non-for-profit basis. We also have the MedTech Rapid Prototyping Microfabrication Facility, which is a holistic design studio for MedTech devices and diagnostics. People who want to avail the MedTech prototyping facility can come ahead with just an idea and walk away with a product in their hand that will be ready for certifications as per the inputs from the person who's actually working on the project. We also have a transgenic fly model for research, primarily which is used for testing drugs and compounds for disease indications. So especially in the field of drugs, if you're looking at a transgenic fly model to give you an analysis towards this, it not only includes CRISPR-Cas9 technology, but also used for testing novel drugs and compounds that you may have, isolated or verified with, say, in vitro analysis. Technology training resources are also offered by CCAMP, and some of them are on your screen at the moment. This happens on a call-by-call basis. So every 6 months, we have at least 2 to 3 programs. Some of them are very specific. Sometimes we do have clinicians or clinical genomics that happens at CCAMP as well. So just have a tap on our social media handle, either on LinkedIn or on Instagram or any of the others, Facebook even, and you will be getting an update about any of the training courses you may require. So in line with entrepreneurship, it would be very important to actually protect your idea legally as well as financially. So we do have the Office of Technology Transfer, whom we call as OTT at CCAMP, which will be helping you with drafting your patent applications, do any prior art search, patent mapping, FTO analysis, out-licensing and in-licensing opportunities. Please bear in mind that once you are into the ecosystem of CCAMP, either via incubation or funding, all these facilities are openly available to everyone. Added to that, I would also like to add that in case you are not yet formally associated with CCAMP with any of the divisions that we have or parallels that we have, you can directly write to ott@ccamp.res.in to get an understanding about your freedom to operate as well as the novelty behind your idea. We also have tech showcase programs that happen. So people who would like to have a direct collaboration with either industry or investors and have registered for patents via CCAMP, we showcase their proposed solutions with other inventors as well. And this has actually translated wonderfully well at CCAMP, giving the industry partners and investors an idea or a tap into the proposed solutions that people are working with, especially in the field of diagnostics, therapeutics, and medical devices. We are also looking at a showcase being held for industrial biotechnology as well as agriculture thematic areas shortly. So CCAMP offers a multitude of mentorship, advancement, and acceleration programs inclusive of incubation programs. Please bear in mind that your application for BIG does not require a mandatory incubation at CCAMP unless you are an individual entrepreneur. We do have a TBI at CCAMP, but in case you are not based out of Bangalore and you have associations with technology business incubators wherever you are, presently geographically located, you can actually get incubated with the TBI where you are at and be implemented, funded, and mentored by CCAMP for the BIG project. The immersion programs also are held for graduates who want to understand if their proposed solution is good enough to meet with the industry standards presently available. We also have the funding resources. So primarily, we nurture bio-entrepreneurship by incubations, funding opportunities, mentorships, as well as acceleration programs that are primarily the acceleration programs would be somewhere after the proof of concept stage. So this has been the impact of CCAMP over the last 10 to 12 years for fostering bio-entrepreneurs. We have a bandwidth of about 420 plus startups that we have funded, incubated, accelerated, and advanced with an added employment of about 1,500 and 40 plus products presently in the market. Some of the innovations that largely started with the BIG grant include Koyo Labs, Bugworks, Biomonita, Pandorum Technologies, Moxa, Inaxel, Archera, as well as Prante and NISA Medtech. And we have primarily covered innovations across thematic areas. So we are not thematic area specific. We have wonderful startups having impactful proposed solutions in the area of nutraceuticals, industrial biotechnology, veterinary sciences, as well as drugs, devices, and diagnostics and healthcare. So the innovations supported by CCAMP have, been associated with CCAMP right from the idea stage. So primarily, we see that, you would require early stage funding primarily as grant-based opportunities to travel from being an idea to a proof of concept, and then probably look into investments from being a proof of concept stage to being called as an innovation, and additional investments for accelerating your proposed solution to the market from innovation to scale up. So primarily, the quantum of funds starts from about 20 lakhs to over 3 CR per startup across all the funding opportunities on your screen presently. Some of the exciting funding opportunities for innovators largely include investment opportunities at CCAMP, BIG being one of the grant in aid programs at the moment. So why is BIG very critical, and why is BIG one of the most sought after opportunities in India presently? If you look at the, travel of not only a startup, but also an individual who thinks they have an idea. They start from an idea, they work on their idea with a bit of preliminary data, and then they get to a stage called as a proof of concept stage where they say that the science is strong enough to actually scale up operations. They then build a prototype that is either ready for field or clinical trials, and then the innovation. What happens here is that people are ready to put in money. Being bio-entrepreneurship and capital intensive, they are ready to put in money once you say that your science is strong enough, which is usually after the proof of concept. But BIG is one of the most sought after program because they take a risk in, investing in your idea between the idea to the proof of concept stage. The applicants who can go ahead would either belong to an individual category, group, or startup. If you are an individual, you can either come from the academia or from the industry, and the entire bandwidth of, the idea who are working on proposed solutions with a societal need includes senior students, postdocs, faculty members, employee founders, and veterans. The scope and support of BIG is not for basic research. So please bear in mind that BIG has presently become a highly competitive grant. So, the applications with some amount of preliminary data is something that people look at positively presently. But there are also proposals that have been accepted with no preliminary data as well, if the impact and the business metrics of the proposed solution is really the need of the hour. Again, it is not for the other end of the spectrum. It is not for systemic clinical trials or late-stage validation or certification of the technology. You will be awarded up to 50 lakhs. What you ask for is what you get. Primarily, if you are asking for 45 lakhs and you feel that that amount is justifiable, you can go ahead with your application. Once awarded, you are not given more than 18 months of time to actually complete the proof of concept, and the money can be used for purchase of equipment, consumables, paying salary to the manpower identified, paying your rentals, using funds for travel, patent filing, as well as contingency, which is for unforeseen expenses. So primarily, there is a national call for proposals on the 1st of January and the 1st of July. The present call has been delayed. So the call got initiated on 15th of April, as you well know. And it will be staying active and accepting applications on the BARAC portal till the 31st of May. Primarily till the 31st of May, you would be requested to upload an online application. After the close of the call, we will be going ahead with an eligibility screening and a preliminary screening committee where we will be checking for the eligibility criteria of the applicant. checking if there is any plagiarism on the proposal, as well as whether you have identified the right thematic area. After that, you will be given a permanent proposal code, followed by a review of 5 online experts. These online experts largely pertain to the thematic area of your choice. So if you are, identifying devices to be your thematic area, 5 online experts who have either theoretical, legal, or business-wise expertise in the field of medical devices will be, reviewing your proposal. And once recommended, you will be asked to present in front of the technical evaluation panel, after which you would get to know you're awarded, followed by due diligence and funding, incubation, and mentorship. Now, why is writing the proposal very, very important? Is primarily because most of the steps of your BIG grant does not allow you to voice out your proposal. What you write as part of the application will cater to almost 3 stages of the BIG assessment procedure that includes eligibility, PSC, as well as the technical review. If there are any changes, in the team, any additional data from the date of the application till the date of the assessment, you will only be able to voice out in the technical evaluation panel round. And CCAMP will be furthering your entire application process right from proposal writing till you close on your 18-month duration of the BIG once you're awarded. Now, why choose CCAMP to be an implementing partner? The mentorship and handholding is all through the grant. Even when you think you have an idea, you feel that you are not sure if your idea is industry ready. Even if you want any handholding with respect to understanding any aspects of entrepreneurship, we are there for you. The documentation hassles have been made very easy if you're choosing CCAMP to be your implementing partner. Primarily a one-pager document after you are awarded is what is primarily expected from you. We have undertaken special consideration as per the progress of the grant once you're awarded. Please bear in mind that if you are applying as an individual, it is an entrepreneurship grant. So forming a company is something that will actually lead the project after the proof of concept. But till the duration of 18 months, we largely leave it to the consideration of the project coordinator to whether or not you want to form a company. But the seriousness of taking the idea forward largely rests with company formation, and that is something that we push for only if the project coordinator is ready. Once you have been associated with CCAMP, you get to connect with an ecosystem of 420 plus startups of CCAMP alone. During your BIG application process, you do get curated feedback within 72 working hours once the proposal is shared with the big management team at CCAMP. The letter of intent generation takes less than 48 hours time. Please understand that the letter of intent primarily supports the application from CCAMP. It is basically a letter of support and does not make incubation mandatory at CCAMP. We can engage in a 24/7 discussion with respect to your proposed solution. There is no equity stake taken by CCAMP or no hidden charges taken by CCAMP once you have been awarded the BIG or for rendering your curated feedback during your application process, as well as finalizing your pitch in case you're recommended by the online review panelists. All the correspondence by CCAMP will be in line with the Biotech norms and regulations. Specific and curated discussions once you are awarded will be accessed to the BIG experts. We do have an handholding with respect to follow-on schemes, which I previously mentioned, from the tune of about 25 lakhs to about 3.3 CR. You get connects with experts in respective fields and also with respects to tide over specific roadblocks that you have. We have an MOU with over 6 countries at the moment, which will help you soft land your proposed solution globally. And we also have a tie-up with about 18 state governments in India to get a pulse of rendering a soft landing within India as well. There are industry collaborations that happens irrespective of the thematic area, especially in the field of drugs as well. Now, when you are assessing whether your idea is ready to apply, you would have come across something called as a TRL level, which stands for Technology Readiness Level. Primarily, BIRAC also forms the same norm as NASA. So if you look at TRL levels, it starts from 1 to 9. Biotechnology Ignition Grant primarily starts somewhere between 2 to 3, where the concept of the technology, the concept to meet with the need that you've identified has been finalized by the applicant. And it can go up to a stage where it is somewhere between 5 to 6, where the technology has been put together and you have to just test it in simulated operational environments like clinical trials or field trials. Now, bear in mind that some of these TRL levels may vary depending upon your thematic area. So if you are identifying drugs to be your thematic area, then you may fall somewhere between 4 to 5 at the end of the BIG grant. The overall details that will have to be covered in the proposal includes basic information that includes the particulars of the company. I'll be going through these one by one in the follow-on slides. Bear in mind that the eligibility and the pre-screening round largely undertakes an assessment of the first 6 aspects of the proposal, whereas the proposal details, especially the technical part of the proposal, will be undertaken by the online review experts. Now, the structure and composition of the BIG scheme largely runs in 3 parts. So you will have to justify whether your idea is novel, whether it has a societal impact, whether you have a technical feasibility of achieving the proof of concept in 18 months' time. And in case you have any competition, you will have to say why you are better than the existing competitors. If you have a team, then kindly highlight the technical strength of the team, whether or not you have any team members and advisors. Please bear in mind that the advisors are of 2 types. One would be the scientific advisors, and the other would be a business advisor. Although it would be best if you have both at this point of time, but at least having a scientific advisor to tide over the technical part of your proposal is something that will be looked at positively. Business advisors, you can also declare that you will be initiating talks with a couple of business advisors going ahead. If you are an individual and not a company applicant, more often than not, you may have to recruit team members in the future. You may not have identified your team members as yet. So in your proposal, you can highlight what it would be either the qualification or the expertise of prospective people that you will be recruiting as employees to take care of the R&D part of the proposal. Please have a business plan. In case you do not have a business plan at this moment, when you are sharing your proposal, the draft of the proposal with CCAM, you can highlight that you require help with understanding who would be your target customers, what is the market that you're trying to achieve, and whether you have any competitors already. This would largely be the evaluation criteria of the BIG scheme, where you have primarily the evaluations are catered to with the idea, with the scientific merit of the proposal as well as the team. But please understand that at least having clarity of what is the business potential, whether you're going in for a B2B, whether you're going for a B2C, whether it does have a commercial potential or not, and why, would also be a critical qualifier. So basically, clarity on the left part of your scheme with an understanding of the business part of your proposed solution is something that is looked at positively. The components in order largely are 10. So primarily, I think the first 6 is something that might be technically strong. Whereas if you need help with 7, 8, and 9, which is end outcomes, commercial plan, and IP, you can definitely write to us. And please ensure that most of the comments coming from CCAMP are curated with respect to your proposed solution. So unless we know what the draft of the proposal entails, we will not be able to handhold you wisely. So draft of the proposal would be mandatory to be shared with CCAMP for a curated feedback. The eligibility largely is different for individuals and companies. So in case you are an individual applicant, you will have to be a graduate at the time of application. You should be an Indian citizen. You should have an incubation or at least a letter of intent that supports prospective incubation with a technology business incubator. There are about 60 to 70 TBIs recognized by BIRAC. So you can go through that list. It is available on the BIRAC portal and you can go ahead with it. In case you are coming from an academic community, be it faculty or a research scholar or a project associate, no objection certificate from the institute would be mandatory. In case you're presently employed in a company, then you will have to declare that you will be stepping down from your current position once you are awarded. So please bear in mind that this is not an immediate resignation that we seek. The translation between the close of the application till you get to know you're awarded is highly competitive in nature and may take about 6 months of time, right? So once you get to know you are awarded, you can then step down from your current position and take up the BIG opportunity full time. In case you are a company, you should not be more than 5 years old from the date of call. 51% of the ownership should be held by resident Indian citizens, and the project leader must be a shareholder in the applicant company, either holding shares in the applicant company or via ESOPs. Individual applicant also must not hold any shares in another biotech company of more than 20%. And in the application, if company application, no promoter or director of the company should be a co-promoter of another ineligible biotech company. For company applicants, please bear in mind that this step is to be undertaken immediately, primarily because it takes about 48 hours to resolve as far as the BIRAC portal is concerned. So you log in on the BIRAC portal, you register for BIG, either being an individual and a company. And in case the drop-down does not reflect the name of your company, you will have to register in the name of a new company. And a username and password for the new company will be given to you over email as part of company activation. And only after the company has been registered on the BIRAC portal will you be able to go ahead with the BIG application. So considering that the deadline is the May 31st, I would request all company applicants to ensure that you are applying in the name of the company. Now, in case you are a company, you are in the form, in the cusp of forming your company. At the moment, you've registered a company, but the incorporation is not yet completed as per MCA. Please bear in mind to go ahead with the individual application, bearing in mind that one of the founders is the project coordinator, and either during the TEP or during the agreement signing, you can convert into the company name. Okay. Now, on receipt of the login credentials, being individual or company, you will have to go ahead with the entire process of the portal upload. So you will have to declare again whether you're an individual company, where are you incubated. If you are a company, please write the name of the company. And please bear in mind that if you already have a company, you will have to apply in the company category and not the individual category. Kindly highlight the title of the proposal and the name of the project coordinator. What would be the duration of the proposal? Please bear in mind to have a duration somewhere between 15 to 18 months time. This is just to ensure that if there are any experimental analysis to be reiterated multiple times, then you have a buffer time of, in the entire 18 months duration. Kindly highlight the relevant area, basically the thematic area. So you have 5 thematic areas primarily under BIG: drugs, devices, diagnostics, agriculture, and industrial biotechnology. Under drugs, you have regenerative medicine, stem cells, biomaterials, biomolecules, drug device combinations, etc. Devices and diagnostics largely have 2 separate columns. One is human and animal. Under agriculture, you have animal husbandry, poultry, you have other like soil sciences, pest management, post-harvest management, etc. And under industrial biotechnology, inclusive of upstream, downstream processing and fermentation, you have thematic areas like wastewater management, sanitation, as well as clean energy. Kindly choose CCAMP as being your BIG partner. And once you have done that, you will be able to upload the letter of intent generated from CCAMP. In case there are any delays from the TBI that you're already associated with, For the issuance of the letter of intent, we need a couple of details from you. One, the name of the primary applicant. So it will, for the individual, it will be the name of the project coordinator. For the company, it will be the name of the company and the finalized title of the proposal for LOI assurance. Now, for repeat applicants, you will have to declare whether you have applied through another BIG partner in the current call. Is it the same proposal? And have you applied for BIG in the earlier rounds? So if you are a repeat applicant, you will have to declare yes, and then go ahead with the details of what is required. So over here, you will have to give us what is the status of the previous application, what is the reason why it was not recommended, and is there any action taken from your end for this, right? Now, for company applicants, please bear in mind that these are the details that would be primary for the upload of the BIG. So this will also help you to generate the username and password that I had mentioned earlier. So you will have to declare the name of the company, what is the address, and the contact details of the project coordinator. You will have to upload the MOA, AOA, COI details of the company, as well as the PAN details of the company. Then you will also have to declare a shareholding pattern, primarily highlighting the nationalities of the shareholders. Now, in case you already have institutional shareholders, like for example, some of the incubators do take equity in exchange to incubation, you can declare them to be entities. And then you will have to give us the shareholders information. What is the percentage of shareholding between Indian and international? Your SIN details have to be uploaded. Now, in case you're an LLP, you will have to declare your promoter details and or how many promoters are there in the company, whether you are associated with a TBI or a functional or have a functional lab of your own. If yes, then those details have to be given. And over here, you will also have to upload a letter of intent. Now, in case you're already associated with a TBI, and from the TBI, the letter of intent is actually taking time, or you have not yet initiated the rental document from the TBI, then a letter of intent from CCAM can be given to you in less than 48 hours time, just to, complete the application process. And you will also have to declare whether as a company you had applied to any of the other BIRAC schemes, like for example, academic research or SIBRI or BIPP. You will have to declare that and the status of your application thereof. Now, coming to, and one more main thing over here is that most of the promoters should hold less than 20% shares in another biotech company. Now, for individual applicants, you will have to, upload your PAN, the passport. In case you do not have a passport or your existing passport has expired, you will have to upload an affidavit of nationality. You will have to declare the TBI association, the letter of intent from either TBI or CCAM, and the details of other BIRAC scheme. Now, please bear in mind that this also comes with a thing of less than 20% shares in another biotech company. Now, most of these details would already be present with you. Now, in case you do not have any of the documents, we will be, when you are implemented by CCAM, you will be given another 10 days time after the close of the call to generate any documentary proof that is required from your end. Now, coming to the team members, in case you do not have any team members, then fair enough, you can go ahead and you can declare during the, proposal that you will be recruiting team members in the future. But in case you've already identified the team members, you will have to declare the name, their last name, gender, designation, as well as what is their expertise over here. Now, there is a prescribed format for the resume that you will have to upload for both team members and scientific advisors. It is an exhaustive format, right? But in case you already have a CV of your team members, please upload that even if it is not in the prescribed format, because uploading of the resume is something that is very important to assess whether you have identified the right team for taking, using for the project. The same thing is also for the scientific advisors. You will have to declare the area of expertise being scientific or business and take it forward from there. In case you want to know what the prescribed format is, please write to us so that we will get back to you with the format that is actually required by BIRAC. But if you feel that the format is very exhaustive, I request you to kindly upload the recently available CV for both team members and scientific advisors. Coming to the details of the proposal, so from this stage on, please bear in mind that this stage on, the proposal will be rendered in a blinded format to the online review experts, and no changes from CCAMP or from any other partner or even BIRAC can be entertained uh, after the stage, right? So when you are uploading your summary, please give us a very good idea as to what is the idea and what is the problem. Kindly do not declare that you're like curing cancer or something like that. You will have to give us a very subjective view of whether you're doing the diagnosis of cancer, whether you're doing a prognosis of cancer, or you're going ahead with a drug, and why is it important. So the need, the gap, and it has to be also supported by valid statistics. For statistics, you can fall back on data from either WHO, FDA, ICMR, or any of the government websites from the government of India to get you the statistical need of the problem that you have identified. Most of the aspects of the proposal runs with a word limit of about 250 to 300 words. And it's basically theoretical in nature. So to give a visual appeal, you can actually upload a concept notes explaining the technology, what is going to be undertaken under BIG and thereof. Now, when you're going ahead, you will have to tell us what you're going to do as a vision and what can be done in 18 months' time. So, like for example, if you are going ahead for a device-based technology, right? So, if you're going to make a medical device at the end of the day, you may actually render a beta prototype of the device, or you may render a working prototype of the device that has been analyzed in, say, clinical samples of, say, 5 or 10. But you will have to finalize the device based on critical comments. So actually the vision and the proposal and the need of the hour will be a medical device in whole. But in 18 months for 50 lakhs, you may probably be able to entail just the working prototype of the device or a beta prototype of the device. So clarity on that has to be ensured. And when you are finalizing your objectives also, how are you going to undertake the said 18-month proof of concept has to be detailed. Then you will also have to, one of the critical ideas of the BIG is the novelty. So what you can do is you can also have a tabular representation over here showing how different is your idea when compared to the ideas in the market. You also can upload a table over here, just an Excel file or something like that that compares, or a table that actually compares your proposed technology with respect to the drawbacks or strengths of the other technologies that are presently available in the market or going to be available in the market in the near future. Please understand that at this point of time, probably the people you have identified may be competitors, but they also may be collaborators at a later stage. What is the potential societal impact of the proposed technology is also to be detailed. You can again fall back on statistics over here, but primarily, please understand that this is something that is important because this will render how much of commercialization potential you will have indirectly. In case you have any challenges and risk factors, please include in your proposal. Like, for example, some of the challenges may also be ethical clearances. Like if you're working with blood, you may have to go ahead with patient consent forms. You may have to go through IBSC, IAEC, depending on your animal experiments and all of that. So all of that can be identified. And in case you have to go through regulatory after the BIG grant, kindly also mention those futuristic perspectives also here, because I do understand that regulatory does not fall under the BIG grant. Market as well as commercialization does not come under the ambit of the BIG grant, but giving us a perspective of your vision to take the proposed solution forward is something that we look at very positively. And also, please bear in mind that it will also be critical to actually give us risk mitigation strategies of the risk factors that you have identified. Preliminary work is something, as I said, gaining importance presently in the BIG scheme. So you will have to give us any, preliminary work that you have done to just substantiate that you are working on the right lines of the technology. What is the proposed outcome? You will have to just tick one of the choices that you have over here, either being a product, is it going to be a service, is it going to be a platform technology, can it render an IP in the future? What is your market entry strategy? What would be the timelines and the milestones and the data analysis? So over here in the future plan of commercialization, if you are not sure about your proposed market entry strategy. When you are sharing with us a draft of your proposal, please highlight that you are unsure of this and we'll be able to help you fine tune it. Intellectual property is something that is very critical in the field of entrepreneurship and also in the BIG grant. In case you have already filed a patent, then please mention the patent number, etc. Now, in case you have not initiated anything on the lines of patent, trademark, or copyright, then we would like you to tell us what would be the possible aspects of post solution under a patent in the future. That is number one. Second thing is, it is always good to give a list of patents that may be possibly overlapping with your technology. Now, in case, like, for example, you have a patent in the US market, right? That is indirectly or directly similar to the proposed solution that you have in mind. It is always easy to declare that, and acknowledge that there is a patent in the US market. So probably you do not have a freedom to operate in the US market, but you have a freedom to operate in the rest of the world. So that kind of clarity has to come out in your presentation. Please fall back on, say, WIPO or Google Patents to actually just give a brief overview. You do not need a patent lawyer at this stage. In case you do, then we can connect you with the OTT team at CCAM. But over here, we just want you to have a brief idea whether there are any existing solutions already available in the market. And kindly cite relevant references with respect to the statistics and the need of your proposed solution. We do not want you to make a thesis out of it, and therefore you will have to restrict your relevant references to either 3 or 5 max, right? Now, one more thing that I would like to make it very clear in the relevance references section is that probably you have already made a publication with respect to your proposed technology. What happens when we are doing a prior art search with your entire proposal is that it may probably compare your idea to your own paper. But the person who's comparing will not know that both of the authors are the same. So in case you are already declaring your idea here, which is already published, in the proposal summary itself, please declare that you've already generated a publication in this regard and the reference has been cited in the relevant references section. In case there are any regulatory issues involved, please upload a declaration document. Now, considering that most of the aspects of the proposal is, binding to a 250 to 300 word, it may not do justice to some parts of the proposal, like, for example, your proposal summary, or for that matter, your proposed strategy of work, or for that matter, your preliminary data. Upload of the additional relevant document, be it an LOI, be it preliminary data with statistical impulses, etc., can be uploaded as a separate document in any other information that is relevant to the project. So please utilize this step with clarity, just to ensure that the complete understanding of the proposal is rendered. Proposal objectives and work plan will be catering to your entire duration of 15 to 18 months time. So you will have to select what are your objectives, and then you will have to detail when you are going to start the objective, when you're going to end the objective, and the timelines, and what would be the activities that you are undertaking. And if these are the activities you are undertaking, then what are the indicators of progress? Now, I do understand that this is a little overboard, having a very stepwise in this thing, but this is only to ensure that clarity is maintained from the applicant's perspective. Justification for the budget is required for equipment, manpower, as well as consumable details, and also a justification of any of the other costs, as well as justification for specific need of the budget is also something you have to undertake. And you will also have to declare that whether you have undertaking any funds for the present activity with another funding agency. Please bear in mind that the exact objectives of the milestones that you have identified cannot be covered under two funding agencies as part of the research translation regulation of India. Now, this is something that is very important. So you will have to declare the budget of equipment, human sources, resources, consumables, as well as other heads. So please ensure that this total is inclusive of A, B, and C plus the equipment. So this total should not exceed 50 lakhs, right? So it is equipment plus human resources plus consumables plus other heads, not exceeding 50 lakhs. For repeat applications, like I mentioned in the start of the proposal itself, you will have to declare whether you have already applied for BIG. Now, in case you have, kindly include the comments from your last proposal because that will already be available to the reviewers. Kindly be polite and respectful with your responses. Ensure to include how you have circumvented some of the problems. We do understand that some of the comments that may have come your way may have had a very different impact on a very critical impact on the proposed solution. So you will have to declare whether or not that comment is completely acceptable to you, and if not, why. And if it is acceptable to you, have you done anything in that regard, and how you have modified your proposal or included that comment in your proposal. And please include the progress that you have made since the last review. Now, coming from the timelines of BIG, please engage with BIG for whatever help that you may require. Documentation formats for resume as well as LOIs or any other doubts or clarifications that is required. The letter of intent issuance, I would like to reiterate again that it will be given to you within 48 working hours time. Once you have shared the name of the applicant as well as the finalized title of the proposal and a curated feedback on the draft of the proposal, inclusive of any doubts or clarification, can be rendered within 72 working hours time. So primarily just going through the to-do list for all applicants, email ccamp_big@ccamp.res.in for any documentary need. Brainstorm with your team members, ensure that clarity is mentioned and the need of the hour, the gap, and the effective understanding of the proposed solution is rendered with technical clarity. Mindful of the word limit in each section and the budget of total up to 50 lakhs. This would be primarily lines and the deadlines from our end. So draft of the proposal can be shared with CCAMP till May 25th. The last date of LOI issuance would be May 29th, and the preferred last date of upload would be May 30th, 5 p.m. This is primarily because the portal on BIRAC sees a lot of influx of applications in the last day, and we would not like you to miss out on the call just because of a technical glitch. So thank you for the time today. Open to questions. This would be the email ID on your screen. And the deadline for the BIG call 24 is May 31st, 2024, 5:30 p.m. Thank you so much. Right. So, yeah. Can Dr. Ramesh Nayak kindly unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the information, madam. We got a very useful information as far as the application part is concerned. I have one doubt is, see, we are working, we have not yet taken the field studies. We have done and we are selling the product to the end users already, but we have not taken a specific field trials from the Indian Institute of Agriculture or any other government organizations. Can we submit the feedback of the people who are working in the field, like farmers, agents, distributors? Can we take a feedback from them and upload for the application?
So all the preliminary data that you have done till date if it requires a change in the R&D to make it a proof of concept, to make the science and technology fully feasible in line with the asks of the target customers that you have in mind, you can definitely go ahead and apply for the BIG.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Dr. Swadhin? Yeah, please unmute yourself. Hi.
Hi. Hello, Nitya. Thank you for all the clarification. I was just wondering that we have some ideas which is quite consolidated, but has not published yet. So,
Okay.
Would you suggest that we publish that and then come back, or because now let's say our work doesn't have seen the light of publication yet, but we
Right.
have a technique already rolling in the lab and we will work on the publication, but definitely not in a deadline of 31st May. So your suggestions.
So please bear in mind that the BIG is an entrepreneurship grant. So we would have patent as a priority over publications, not taking anything away from the publication, but primarily because if you are getting into the field of entrepreneurship, you will have to protect your idea first before you put it out in the public domain, right? So incremental changes to something that is already available in the public domain may render multiple publications and may render possibility another solution in the entrepreneurship domain. So even if you do not have a publication at this stage, that is not mandatory. You can actually cite other references and go ahead with the preliminary data that you have as on today, along with
Which
the
is better than
R&D
others?
strategy for 18 months time.
Which is better than others? Highlighting which is better than others.
Highlighting how it is better than others.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. I have a question in the chat box whether you have an option for mental health. Please understand that mental health is not a separate category under BIG, but we would like you to give us a perspective as to what is your solution under mental health? Is it going to be a device-based solution? Is it going to be an app? Is it going to be digital health-based? Is it a diagnostic-based? Is it a drug-based? So that kind of first you will have to highlight which is the thematic area you fall under and then go ahead with your application. I hope I answer that question. Shrishti, please go ahead. Shrishti? Okay. Dr. Indranil? Dr. Indranil, if you may please unmute yourself for your question.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Nitya ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, we are a sustainable solution. We are working on agriculture waste upcycling. So you said post. Does it fall under the category because agriculture is part of it? We are working on from hydrogen to fiber production from agriculture, all from agriculture waste. So, so it will fall under post-harvest agriculture category. Which category we should be applying?
So primarily the thematic area is judged with respect to the proposed solution that you have, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing
Okay.
is it will also take into consideration what is your strategy of work. So if your strategy of work is towards a post-harvestment, loss mitigation efforts or something like that, it would come under agri post-harvest. If you are initiating your R&D from post-harvest, like for example, if you're taking agri waste or something like that from the farmers and then you're making a product out of it, then it will be under the waste management category, which will fall under industrial biotechnology.
Okay.
Now, in case you're confused about where it will actually be placed, you can go ahead with one thematic area at the time of application. Like I said, during eligibility and PSC screening, if implemented by CCAM, we will get back to you about what we feel which would be the right thematic area. And once we get a confirmation from you, we will then change the thematic area of choice.
Yes, ma'am. That's clear. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Lakshmi Soundararajan, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hi, Nitya.
Yeah, hi.
This is regarding two things I have. One is the company which I am looking for to collaborate is already a startup, like it has been registered, but work has not been progressed. So it's more than 4 years now. So that has been registered and but work has not been progressed there. So I wanted to know whether if we go in for a big grant, then can we go ahead? Like, is there any limitation but that the startup has to be more than 4 years or 5 years? So that is one question. Second question is like we are again working on patents on a patented product which through a PhD the CEO or the founder of that company has it. And we are already working on with collaborations because it is going to be on tuberculosis. So we are collaborating with institutions. So in that case, do you want the academic institution also to be a part of this grant or not? So these are the two different things, because it's a like national ICMR institute or something. So they need to have a lot of approval because they have to sign in an MOU with a company or like that way. So they have their own rules and regulations, and they have to get multiple permissions. So in that way, like, can we go ahead and then say that we are collaborating, or we can do it, or we have to include them also as one of the collaborator or co-PI or something should be right in?
Got it. So coming to your first question, if the MOA and AOA of the registered company, which is 4-year-old, has a biotech, inclusion into the MOA, that is, articles of association and all of that. If you have an inclusion of biotech, please go ahead with the name of the company, because being less than 5 years old, that company would be eligible to apply. Right.
Okay.
And being an individual, if you fall under if you attempt to go ahead with an application in the individual category, doing a background check will actually reflect the fact that you already have a company, and you may be rendered ineligible for the application. So I would request you to just check if you have an MOA, AOA with an inclination of biotechnology or life sciences, then you can go ahead and apply in the name of the company. That is number one. Second thing is, Biotechnology Ignition Grant is a entrepreneurship grant. It is not an academic grant. So primarily, even if you apply in the company category, you will have to declare a project coordinator and not like a PI, co-PI kind of thing.
Okay.
So you will have to adjudge whether these collaborators, the personnel who are included in the collaboration, will either be team members, that is manpower, who will undertake the R&D aspect of the work, or will they be coming under mentorship or advisory category? So usually if they have a lot of expertise, they may render and come under scientific advisory capacity. Okay. That is number one. And in case, there is some furtherance of, say, obtaining, doing some sort of, you are, undertaking some laboratory analysis in these ICMR facilities and all of that, you can say that these experiments will be conducted in ICMR as per the collaboration with the scientific advisor. That can be done. But collaborative projects between institute and company is not something that falls under the perspective of BIG.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Dr. Keshavamurthy, please unmute yourself. Dr. Keshavamurthy. So while we wait for Dr. Keshavamurthy, I have a question from Dr. Viji saying that she has a drug development against E. coli, and can it be a proposal? That can definitely be a proposal under the BIG grant, but understand that we would like to have the draft of the proposal with us before we confirm on, the application process. And secondly, each applicant can upload a single proposal per call. So if you're working on 2 ideas, we would like you to finalize on 1 idea and upload your application onto the portal. Dr. Ramesh Babu, a bit of confusion between Bioness, Bioincubator, TBI, etc., etc. Can you give some clarification? So please understand that the BIG grant requires you as an individual or as a company to be associated with a technology business incubator. These incubators have been set up by BIRAC across India to actually facilitate research on the lines of entrepreneurship. So you will have to be associated with the TBIs that have been identified by BIRAC. And these TBIs have largely been acclaimed to be technology business incubators or Bioness centers, right? CCamp can either be your incubator as well as the implementing partner of your proposal. In case you would like to incubate with us, after the BIG grant is over, we are open to that. In case you are not, then you can identify another TBI and upload a letter of intent from that particular TBI. If you have an idea of developing a product and do not have initial data, please understand to cover the need, the gap, and the statistics of why the proposed solution is very important. and you can highlight what you're going to do in 18 months time, and go ahead with your application. For a medical device related application, we would be expecting at least some sort of preliminary data, probably iterations or a couple of devices and all of that. If you have not initiated prototyping yet for your device or the diagnostics, then at least industrial design or a CAD design of the proposed device would be important while uploading your application. The categories that we have under industrial biotech include wastewater management, waste management, sanitation, clean energy, industrial process, upstream processing, downstream processing, and fermentation technology. If you are a repeat applicant, please understand the comments that were given earlier for your BIG application. BIG application would primarily have, given you comments, like even if it was online review or TEP, you would have received comments. So please give us a response to those comments. And in case the comments have been given with respect to your proposed solution, that give us what progress you have made and how has that comment been included in your proposed solution. Now, in case the comments have been highly critical in nature, please give us an understanding as to why those comments would not be able to meet with in the 18 months of BIG or under the proposed solution itself. Helping building a team from CCAMP, we can help you with the job description, facilitations and all of that, but identifying who will work on your idea will largely be made by the project coordinator, because most of the proposals that have come your way are basically babies of the project coordinator. So we wouldn't like to infringe on that. We would like you to take it forward. Suchanda, if you can please unmute yourself. Dr. Suchanda Sahu, we request you to kindly unmute yourself. Okay. Dr. Sachindra Nargud, if you can please unmute yourself. Dr. Sachindra. Dr. Vidya, please unmute yourself. Dr. Vidya Moni.
Yeah, hi. Hi, good morning. I have a system, a cancer diagnostic system. Now I'm using it as a screening device for cervical cancer screening. Then I have a doubt regarding, can I go with a company or an individual?
Do you already have a company at the moment?
Yeah, it is a private
Okay,
limited.
then please go ahead with your application as a company. If your MOA and AOA of the company includes a biotech element, then please go ahead with the name of the company.
Okay, biotech element is.
Have you completed the incorporation of the company as per MCA?
Yeah, completed on 14th of October 2023.
Okay, then you can go ahead with the application in the name of the company.
Yes. And how can go for an LOT? It is necessary for application for big, right? So how can get direct complement from CCAM for as a part?
I think I already covered that in one of my slides as to what you will get from being an implementing partner of CCAM.
Yeah.
So primarily that, and one more thing is the facilitation for the BIG grant happens within 3 working days at CCAM, be it LOI generation or the draft of the proposal, as well as the curated feedback that you will get on every stage of rendering. And once you have associated with any team at CCAM, whatever updates that we have, either with respect to the progress of programs at CCAM or anything otherwise, we will be updating you. So this is in addition to the slide that I had previously.
Okay. I will go through it. And also, other than big, I want a prototyping part in clinical testing. like that. I made a small MVP for the device, and it is under progress. It is not completed yet, but partial part is completed. That is working it. And what can you help me for improving next type of MVP with your help?
Yeah, so we do have a medtech facility at CCAM with a clean room class 10,000 clean room as well. So we undertake projects with when the people come up with an idea with or without a prototype at their end.
Okay.
So just write to us at ccamp_big@ccam.res.in. The email is already available on the chat box from our end. So you can just write to us and we can connect you with the right team possible.
Okay. One more question also. If we go for bigger, there is necessary for a prototype, right?
No.
Working prototype.
No. You will generate a working prototype at the end of BIG.
End of BIG, not the starting. It is only idea to be presented in.
Idea
right?
to proof of concept is what
Proof
is
of
covered
concept.
under BIG. Yes.
Can you send me a brochure for big grant? Can I complete that brochure to send to you? You will validate it and get back feedback,
yeah, so
right?
you would have received a user guide from our end as a
Yeah.
template draft of an offline skeletal template of what is updated. And
Yeah.
primarily, most of the aspects of that user guide have been covered in the webinar today. So you can just finalize the draft from your end and share it with us.
Okay. Thank you. You will. I need your help throughout my journey.
Yeah, please write us an email because most of the comments will be curated per proposal that is coming our way. So we take it on a curated feedback kind of a proposition. So if you can write us an email, it will be great.
Okay. Thank you. Nidhi.
Thank you. Yeah. Dr. Henry Silo, please go ahead. Dr. Henry Silo. Dr. Tamilvanan. Dr. Tamilvanan. Dr. Devi Ramamurthy.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Ma'am, what are those ineligible biotech companies?
Ineligible biotech companies would be companies that are more than 5 years old, number one. Second thing is if any of the promoters and directors of the company has more than 20% shares in another biotech or in another ineligible biotech company, then it would be considered ineligible from our end. I think my colleague has already put it up in the chat box.
Okay. Chat box list is there, ma'am. It is a waste management company. So I'm holding a share higher than 20%. It is recently formulated only. We are trying to couple these two companies into one because of some other scheme. I am keeping that company as a separate one. Some state level schemes are available for first time entrepreneurs. So should I couple together or should I reduce my share there, ma'am?
You can reduce your shares at the moment and you can give a declaration that the shareholding pattern of the company will be given to us once you have reached the TEP stage.
Okay.
Yeah, even if you initiate now, it will take time, right, in the MCA portal. So from CCAM, we'll be giving you time to reduce your shares. So in case you are selected for the TEP, you will have to give us a revised shareholding pattern of the company.
If it is a proprietorship, ma'am? Because
if
no
it
share.
is a proprietorship, companies are not eligible for BIG. You should either be an LLP or a private limited.
No, the company which I'm applying is a private limited only. But for schemes in state level, Tamil Nadu state level schemes, we have to have a proprietorship. So that proprietorship I'm applying, I don't know whether I will be getting that scheme subsidy or not. So I don't have enough clarity. It is a kind of
We will
waste
have to look
management.
at the document, the company documents in much more detail to actually analyze this. But primarily, having less than 20% shares would help.
Preferred. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Dr. Natarajan,
Hi, can you hear
hi.
me? Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yeah, please go
So
ahead.
we are a 2-year-old company, okay, and we have developed a drug for Alzheimer's, and we have gone through a cell line study followed by a toxicology study, and then the animal study, then the synergy study and everything, and we applied for a patent, and the patent application is posted for grant. Okay. Subject to National Biodiversity Act approval. Okay. So at this stage, we have also applied for all the PCT countries. Okay. So now what we are looking for is funding for pursuing the international patents under the big scheme. Okay. Is that possible? That is the first question.
So if you look at the budget, primarily BIG is an R&D based grant. So you're given about 18 months and 50 lakhs of money, right? Now the
Right.
50 lakhs is utilized for equipment, purchase of manpower and all of that, primarily furthering the R&D scope of the project. So the IP is actually capped at 5% of the total budget that you're going to ask from BIG for.
Okay.
Now, the application for BIG to render an international patent can be used, but there is a cap in the budget for which it is used, number one. And second thing is you should actually have a strategy for an 18-month duration, an R&D strategy for an 18-month duration to be eligible for BIG. That is the second one.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Second thing is, if you need funding that is exclusive for patent at the moment, and you are like not using the money for any R&D or do not have a scope of strategy of work for 18-month duration or anything of that sort. In addition to BIG, we also have the OTT team at CCAM that primarily takes care of patents, trademarks, copyrights, and all of that. They also have a funding initiative from them.
Okay.
So I will request you to kindly have a lookout on that choice as well. So that the proof of concept also is can be rendered under BIG, and there is a scope of funding for international patent more than the 5% cap of the total budget from BIG.
So what you're saying is we should still go ahead and apply for BIG, is it?
You are definitely eligible to apply for the BIG as long as you have a strategy of work of R&D work for 15 to 18 month duration.
Okay. See, the problem that we are having is our first priority is to protect the intellectual property internationally. Okay, Indian part is already protected. Okay. So what about going to the market? Is that a part of the strategy, or is that something that we can put as part of the BIG proposal?
Yeah, market and commercialization does not come under the ambit of BIG. I would request you to look at other funding opportunities at CCAM with our investment base, or other opportunities from BIRAC such as SIBRI and BIPP for the same.
Okay. So is there a way that we can come discuss what are all the opportunities that we have for further funding and see which way we have to go?
Anytime. We would love to host you at CCAM. So you can just write us an email and we can just, exchange our calendars and see which date would be feasible for an in-person interaction.
Yeah. Okay, that would be great because see the Indian, all our studies on Indian patents and everything, so we have funded ourselves. Okay. So now the international patent is going to cost us a lot of money, right? It's not easy for international patent, especially when we are looking at about 10 countries. Okay. So that is where a lot of money is going to be spent. But then we also do have a plan once the NBA is through and once we get the patent completely approved, then we can start the production here. Okay. So we can come up with a comprehensive plan and then ask for funding. If you can suggest us the right place to go and the right partners with whom we can align with.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Please write us an email. We can take it forward from there.
Yeah, I'll write to you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, so Dr. Venkateshan, see, if you already have some animal studies, but you have some critical analysis to be done to actually validate the need or the scientific merit of the dietary supplement that you're looking at for epilepsy and animals. You can propose whatever you have done till date as preliminary data and go ahead with your application under BIG with a strategy of work for the next 15 to 18 month duration. Copyright and patent are something that are treated equally and at, as far as BIG is concerned, but please understand that the legal repercussions or the legal need for having a copyright and patent are completely different. So, if there is a confusion on that regard, kindly write us an email so that we'll be able to connect you with the patent office at CCAM. Bharga Biotech, if you can please unmute yourself.
Hello. Can
Yeah,
you hear
hi.
me? Hi.
Yes, we can.
Actually, our company is Bharga Biotech and Re-Energy Solutions Private Limited. But this company is registered as a Bharga Re-Energy Solutions Private Limited in 2019, January. Later in 2023, we renamed as Bharga Biotech, which means we include Bharga Biotech, the term biotech in that. So how is our eligibility in that aspect?
Have you renamed or have you reincorporated your company?
Renamed, yeah.
Then the registrations and the incorporation would still reflect January 2019, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if it is more than 5 years old, you will not be eligible to apply for BIG.
Okay, okay. So,
You can definitely write us an email because we do have funding opportunities at CCAM that primarily cater to something on the lines of BIG as well as otherwise. So we can definitely route you through those programs.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anban Satguru, please unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
Thanks for your detailed presentation. I have few doubts. I am an individual who is not affiliated with any institutes. Am I eligible to apply for a big grant?
So not being associated with any institutes, meaning that you are not employed at this
Yeah,
point, or
yeah,
is it
yeah.
like you have just completed your studies?
No, I'm not employed.
Okay, and you do not hold a faculty or a research position
No, no,
anywhere in any of the academic institutes?
no.
Then you can definitely go ahead and apply. It's not an issue. It's not binding.
Okay,
It's just that if you are employed in a company or if you are a part of the academic institute, you'll have to have some documentation in place, but it doesn't mean that you're not eligible to apply.
okay. And then regarding the scientific advisors, is it mandatory to have one?
It's always good to identify someone who can help you tide over some speed bumps along the way. Once you are awarded, CCAMP will we definitely have a plethora of mentors with us. But if there is something that you have identified from your end, then you can go ahead with it.
I have a
Uh,
scientific advisor. I know a scientific advisor who I have worked with previously. But I mean, he would be very busy. I don't know whether he would be interested in.
That is fine. At the time of application, you just need a verbal confirmation from a probable scientific advisor or a business advisor. We don't need any documentation proof or any letter that says that they are giving their expertise to you. Once you're awarded, then we will require some documentation, but otherwise we don't. So for now, if you
Okay.
have a verbal confirmation from any of them, you can go ahead.
Okay. And then regarding letter of intent, what does it mean? I mean,
So letter of intent is basically a document where CCAM will declare its support for your proposal as part of the BIG grant. So it doesn't come with anything binding as such, like incubation or anything thereof. Like I
okay.
said, we also do not take any equity or any hidden charges for the mentorship that we offer or for any facilitations that we offer. So it's basically a letter that states that CCAMP supports the application for BIG. And for generating that, we will need the name of the applicant and the finalized title of proposal from you.
Okay. So that I have to personally email to CCAMP or
Yeah, you will have to email at ccamp_big at ccamp.res.in. The email is already in the chat box.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Dr. Pramod Sutrave, please unmute yourself.
Hi Nitya, that was a
Hi.
good informative presentation.
Thank you.
The quick question that I have is the project and the concepts that I have in 2 stages. Okay, and both activities can be outsourced. Okay,
Okay.
so if in that case, I mean, I don't know how do I proceed.
So by outsourcing, what do you mean? Like first of all, let me just clarify that in the BIG grant, per call, per applicant, there is only one proposal that will be taken ahead with.
Yes.
So not for both the ideas, but for one idea.
Okay.
And if you are going to do outsourcing, then as part of the budget, 30% of the amount of the total budget can be allocated for outsourcing.
Okay. So I'll have to find some, as I said, since it's in
So
2
even if
stages.
you're outsourcing some part of the project, the major part of the project is to be undertaken by the project coordinator.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The concept itself is such that phase 1 you outsource, phase 2 you outsource. You get the results and you're done.
Right. So I mean, this is a little vague for me to understand at this moment. So I would request you to kindly share the draft of the proposal from your end so that we'll be able to help you tide over whatever speed bumps you have.
I think I've shared both the projects with you about 5 to 6 days back. I've shared the information with the CCAM. The other thing that one can do is I'm an individual. And so if CCAM can take over the projects and then get it done for me, I'll be more than happy.
So CCAM will not be able to take over the ownership of the projects. What we can render to you is a service-based modality at our end, at the technology resources that we have. So we will not be able to take over the ownership as such of the project.
If not the ownership, if it's for implementation. If you have a team that can implement these things, then it'll be easier for me.
BIG is not an outsourcing grant, Dr. Pramod. It's actually an entrepreneurship grant. So there is definitely some amount of R&D that have to be undertaken by the project coordinator. Nonetheless, I will look into the drafts that you have shared. I am sorry if I have missed the email from our end, but if you can just reshare it with us once more, we will be able to revert with curated feedback.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, Yogesh, if you can please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, hi. So I was selected for last TEP round, and I went personally to attend that to Kanpur. But I found out like that all the interviewer are were not related to actually my field. So because their questions were very basic level kind of question, I was expecting more strong questions, and final score I got was roughly around 55, I think. So I didn't know means where I went wrong also. So
yeah, so can you share the reshare? I understand that you were implemented by CCAM last time, and if you had such concerns, I mean, the comments were actually shared with you about 4 months back. So we could have, escalated this to BIRAC and had some sort of an understanding with BIRAC as well as to what can be done. But nonetheless, since the call is presently open, can you just share with us a revised proposal from your end, either on the lines of the comments that you had given last time, or with the progress that you have made in the last 4 months? We can just relook at it and revert with curated feedback.
Yeah, I'll share it. And in between, I got 2 more small grants, like 5 lakhs for this project.
Congratulations. Yeah.
But then actually that one of the question was like that it is related to energy. I said it will be fall on that clean energy area. So, but one of the guy asked, what is bio in your project? So that was like, I was confused, means whether it is out of the project scope or kind of.
No, let us just rework on the proposal, because now
Yeah.
that the call is open, we will not be
Hmm.
able to escalate things to BIRAC at the moment. I wish you had
Hmm.
done that earlier. But nonetheless, if you can just reshare the proposal, the revised proposal from your end, along with the comments that you had received last time, we will be able to work together on this.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do.
Yeah, all right.
So
Thank you so
I will
much.
take, I think, at least 8 to 10 days. By that 10 days, I will share the detail
Yeah, so the
about projects
deadline
and
of
all.
the call is May 31st, so I would request you to
31st,
kindly
I
have
think.
this on
Yeah.
priority. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Rajesh Thakur, if you can please unmute yourself.
Hi, Nitya.
Hi.
Thanks for the presentation. It was a very nice presentation and detailed one. I have some questions. I'm working in the industry itself. Right now, I just wanted that to submit a project. Not only it is a big grant, it could be, I had a discussion with the management also. They said that you can go for the SIBRI and BIPPP. So do you have this sort of uh, presentation or something for SIBRI and BIP also?
Right. So SIBRI and BIPP is directly mandated by BIRAC. It is not implemented or facilitated by CCAM.
Okay.
So I would request you to kindly get in touch with BIRAC directly if you need any clarifications. What we can do from our end is, in case you do not have a direct line of communication with them or with the concerned person handling SIBRI and BIPP, you can write us an email so that we can forward it to BIRAC or the authorities at BIRAC for. And please ensure that you are having things in clarity on your email as to what is your proposed solution and what is the clarifications you require from the team at BIRAC that handles SIBRI and BIPP.
One thing that is another question is that, for example, the company is developing some assays with related to the immunology. So, what is the proof of concept in this case? Is the development of the assay is the proof of concept for them?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat the
For
question?
example, the company is developing some sort of assay, molecular assay, for example. Another kit and other things are being developed in the company. So in this case, for the big grant, what would be the proof of concept when we are proposing that or something we
So one thing that I would like to get to is the company eligible to apply for BIG, or are you going to be in the individual category and
it could be both, and company is also eligible, and
Acha,
individual can
and
be
you
also.
hold shares in the company?
No, I don't. I'm an employee over there, so.
Right. So if you are applying in the company category, number one, you will have to, and you being the project coordinator, then you will have to hold at least shares or ESOPs into the company. That is number one. So I would request you to kindly look into that. Even if the ESOPs or the revised shareholding pattern is shared with us once you have been selected for the TEP round, it will be good enough for going ahead. So that is one. Second thing is, with respect to the diagnostic kit, preliminary data is something that we would look at, because what sort of work you've done till date. And probably at the end of BIG, you can actually have spikes. During the course of BIG, you can actually have spike sample testing with the sensitivity and the specificity that you require. Along with stability assays of the kit, and how long is it going to be there, is it going to be RT, is it going to be refrigerated, etc. All those experiments can be undertaken. Then you can also undertake some clinical sample profiling as well, like for example 10 to 15 clinical samples, whichever is pertinent to the source of the analysis. That can be undertaken, like either blood or urine or any of the bodily fluids, right? So that is that is second one. And if you have some kind of prototype of the diagnostic device, how it should look like at the end of it, like if you're going for an LFA kit or something like that, you may probably have some design of the diagnostic kit in your mind. So that can also be undertaken under a BH.
Right. Another question I'm having, that the project coordinator could be someone who is having scientific background, or could be anyone.
The project coordinator usually is a person who can undertake the technical expertise of the project.
Right.
So he or she should have some experience in the technical merit of the proposal.
Well, he's running the company already. If, for example, some higher authority is there and he's running the entire, I don't know, and managing the entire company since last 5 or 6 or 10 years. So, for example, so he should not be he must be a competent man. Uh, is there any
Yeah.
scientific background is
He is
needed?
holding shares in the company.
Right, yes.
Yes.
Mm.
And I mean, again, I would like to reiterate that companies more than 5 years old will not be eligible.
I understand. For example, I talked only 4 years or 5 years. 4 years, he's running the company. But is there, he's an MBA guy, for example, and running the company. Is he eligible? Does scientific background is required for masters or something is required in this case?
No, you need not have an educational qualification in biology for the BIG grant, but if you have an expertise in the technical merit of the proposal or in the field of the thematic area that you're applying for, you can definitely go ahead and apply.
Import substitution is one of the important thing. What I say is that most of the assets what we are developing or in the right now in the markets are there, mostly from the China or some from the outside Germany and Japan is coming. We would like to develop it indigenous one. Is that the best thing to be a proposal part of the big grant?
See, even if you are having an import substitution, I understand that you are mostly relying on the cost-based transitioning over here into the government, into the Indian ecosystem of diagnostics. But you should also be proving that, you are on par with respect to the sensitivity, the specificity, the merit of the source and all of that. So technically also there should be a merit for the indigenization of the kit that you are planning for.
Right, very true. Well, that cannot be compromised, of course. The sensitivity and specificity cannot be compromised. But the another thing is that in the Indian ecosystem of this, if we used to enter it, the one very important thing is that the import substitution is that, for example, we are purchasing that or outsourcing, importing that, it costs 10,000, and indigenously, if we are developing it, it is 5,000. Is this a feasible proposal?
That's what I said. In addition to the cost metrics, you should also have the technical merits of the proposal, at least on par or better than the globally available solutions.
Right, very true.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all the information.
Thank you. So some questions from the Q&A box. Functional foods would come under agricultural thematic area, which is under that would be food processing. So Jaspreet Garg, if you can please look into that. If Arun Kumar, if the panel has highlighted a concern on the IP conflict, you can actually go ahead with this call of BIG and ascertain as to why that is not the case. And if that is the case, then you can actually prove whether you have a freedom to operate in the other markets available globally. Going ahead with a question from Dr. Sanjay Darvekar. Dr. Sanjay, please go ahead. Okay. Ruchi Chawla. Ruchi, if you can please go ahead with your question. Dr. Sanjay, we are not able to hear you. So if you could please, reset your audio and get back to us. Yeah, we are still not able to hear you, Dr. Sanjay. I see you facilitating that, but no. Dr. Siddhartha Yadav.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. It's been a wonderful presentation. A lot of queries has been resolved. So I'm just now having a just single question in my head that I'm a part of two companies currently. One is 1 year old and the other is I think 2-3 months back we have incorporated. And the thing is, we are going ahead with the second one now. So my question is, as you said that we should your stake should be less than 20%. So I'm ready to like do that, but what should be the timing? Like, should we do it right now, or once we are getting a grant, or at a certain stage?
See, you can initiate things now. That would be best, at least with the perspective of BIG, that would be best. You would be asked regarding this during the eligibility round, and if those things have been completed, we can definitely give you a complete green flag to go ahead with the online review round. Now, there's always a clause where if you are not recommended for the technical evaluation panel, then whatever reduction in shares that you are doing may not actually be seen in a positive note from your end. So I leave it to you as to when you want to initiate the entire thing. We would prefer it to be done as of today, but we would that is also a thing that we leave on to the project coordinators. Primarily, what we would require from you is, in case you are recommended for the technical evaluation panel, you will have to share with us the revised shareholding pattern. So delays on that front cannot be taken into consideration.
Okay.
That would be a hard stop for us.
Okay, so or it can be done at that stage when we are getting selected for the next level, and at that point of time, I should provide you the
Just confirm with your legal and financial CS or CA as to what would be the timeline that would be required for that. But usually less than 20% holding in any other company is deemed ineligible from CCAM and BIRAC.
Okay.
In case you have already initiated, then we can consider like about 15 days time for the formalities to end. So if you are able to do it as on today, so that the last date is the 31st. So if you're able to do it as on today, great. Otherwise, during eligibility, you will be given some time of 10 days to actually furnish the revised shareholding pattern.
So do I need to give a declaration that now I'm having a 19% share in certain company? Do I need to give that declaration as well?
You will have to give us the shareholding pattern in the prescribed format, vetted by the chartered accountants or by the company secretary, showcasing that the shares have been reduced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Pooja Dubey, if you can please unmute yourself. Dr. Pooja?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I wanted to know, hello?
Yes, please go ahead. We can hear you, Dr. Pooja. Hello? Dr. Pooja, you have muted yourself.
Getting muted, ma'am.
Yeah, you can. I think there is a glitch at your end. We will get back to you, Dr. Pooja, in case. So, anybody who requires guidance from CCAM with respect to drafting your proposal, we request you to kindly send us an email, because the remarks from CCAM would largely be in liaison with the experts at CCAM, the BIG experts at CCAM. So if you want to come down to CCAM and discuss things with us directly, then we are ready to host you at CCAM, but that will also require an email from your end. CCAMP is primarily located in Bangalore at the GKVK agricultural campus, close to NCBS and INSTEM. So we would love to host you there. Dr. Surya Singh, if you can please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. My question is that actually I am working as a temporary position on a research associate on a project. Okay.
Okay.
And I also write a project on the SARS-CoV-2. Okay. That is, there are person who is having a diabetic and they are having a cardiac arrest as well as some muscular dystrophy. Okay. So if I want to take the funding help from your side, but my position is the contract or temporary. So can I be the PI in this project, or how I can handle and how I can take the fund from your side?
So, Dr. Surya, BIG is an entrepreneurship grant. There's no PI, co-PI here. It is just the project coordinator who is the point of contact all through the application process. If you are in a contract position, then you may require to give us an NOC from your academic institute at the time of application or during eligibility, right? So the NOC would come into effect, considering that you're presently, even if it is a contract position, you are associated with an academic institute. You can definitely go ahead with the application being the project coordinator subject to NOC from the institute.
Okay, so first of all, that I should be resigned from there, or I should take the NOC from there.
You should get the NOC from there. You can
Okay.
take a choice of resignation after you are awarded.
Okay, so can you please share the prototype of the what are the headings and subheadings in which we have to frame the proposal? Because I frame my proposal as per the ICMR norms.
So you can just give your email ID in the Q&A section, and we will revert to you with the email by the end of the day.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am, may I
Yeah.
unmute now?
Yeah,
The
hi,
problem is
Pooja.
solved.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you
ma'am.
can proceed now. Yeah.
Yeah. Ma'am, actually, I'm calling from Indore, Beti Innovative Private Limited. We are basically working on mushroom spawn, mushroom-based work is there. So, whatever innovations we are working on, I wanted to know, if we have reached up to the prototype stage, then will whether we will be eligible for this Biotech application?
See, if you have the proof of concept already done from your end, that does not require any technical merit to make the proposed solution as per the clinical, industrial, or customer standards that is required. Then BIG would be beyond your scope. But you have something to work on it, at least for a 15 to 18-month duration, with a scientific R&D backing the entire duration of the project, then you can go ahead with the application.
Okay, so if we want, we are looking forward for some more add-ons to this project, then we can apply for this.
Not add-on, but making it much better than what it is today, making the
Yeah.
science feasible across the target population that you have identified.
Okay, ma'am. And also, we will be 5 years in November 2019. So still we are eligible, I think, no?
Yeah, as on April and May, you are not yet 5, so you can definitely go ahead with the application.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Anuj, if you can kindly unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So thanks for that informative session. Actually, I have just passed on my degree and I am just looking forward to apply for this big grant. So I just want to know that there might be a silly, but I just want to know that what are the common mistakes that one can avoid? 2 to 3 common mistakes that you are thinking while going through the applications that most of the freshers like me can do.
Not only freshers, but I think across the applicant category, what we usually see is the clarity of what your thought processes doesn't usually translate to paper, because you've been working on the solution, not taking anything away from you, but you've been working on the solution for quite a bit of time. So what you write may actually make complete sense to you, but for a third person, be it a reviewer or be it anyone else, clarity of the same may not be reached, right? So that is the main thing that I come across amongst, in general, across proposals. But most of the other comments are, highly based on your proposed solution, it requires a curated feedback. So that is why I keep repeating myself that I would request a proposal from you before I can, we can revert with comments. So largely clarity on the content of the proposal is something that we look at.
Okay, so and the follow-up that is it necessary to have an institutional affiliation because I have already passed on my degree, so
As long as you are a graduate, you can definitely go ahead and apply in the individual category. If you do not have any association as on date, then certain documentary proof may not be required from your application.
okay, thank you so much and thanks for that informative session.
Thank you. Dr. Baby John, if you can please unmute yourself. Dr. Baby John? Yeah, Dr. Radhika, please
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah. Madam, for a big grant proposal, we have already conducted one experiments here, and with that we can put that one to come forward for that one, like application.
So if you have any experimental proof towards the proposed solution that you're planning to apply under BIG, you can showcase that as preliminary data and go ahead with your application.
Yeah, preliminary data is already with us because we completed one project that the preliminary data was there with us. And with this, we want to go for application. So for that application to go ahead, we need again funding. So for
Fair
that,
enough. You can share the draft of your proposal with us, and we will be able to revert with curated feedback.
Yeah, one more thing, could we able to take up the collaboration of industry while we are doing that application? Because the equipment or the kind of models that are available in the industry is entirely different from the academic institution. So we didn't have in the university, but we can able to have a collaboration with the industry of relevance. So where we can able to collaborate with doing some experiments there to conduct that, especially on 3D models. You know very well that 3D models and all very costly enough unless we have a separate laboratory system itself. So you can't do that now.
I think the same question was addressed about a week back by my colleague Deepa as well. Industry collaborations can be seen with the merit of advisory roles, either scientific or business. So I would request you to put the concerned person of the industry involved into your project. But collaborative projects under BIG is not taken into consideration. So you may use their expertise to forward or to take the proposed solution forward, but not in a collaborative way. You can outsource it or you can use the expertise of the concerned people.
Okay. So that company was in Bangalore. So it's a Riyajin Basel. The company was in the Bangalore. So we can able to take their help in that regard. It is a mutual interest, like.
Yeah.
So for that, you need to evaluate any kind of his area or what we can give in that proposal. We need to give his expertise.
Evaluation with respect to expertise will be undertaken during the online review stage. With respect to the team, with respect to the proposed solution and all of that.
Okay. And one more thing, madam, this proposal format. So could you please send us through our email, madam?
Yesterday we already sent it, Dr. Radhika. I think last time you had shared your email with another session that we had. We've already sent it on your email in case you haven't reached.
I didn't receive.
Yeah,
Even in spam folder also.
If you could just email us, email us on ccamp_pig, we will resend it to you. No problem.
Yeah. I will give it again. Because one more day is there on 7th, how to write a project proposal in that aspect also.
Yeah, I would request you to kindly note that proposal is not from CCAM. So I would request you to kindly note on that.
Oh, okay. 7th is not from your side. So that is venture group. Maybe that on the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So only for that respect, I would like to ask you that industrial help. Can we club that in the application, whatever the research form? Because one basic.
So please send us the proposal. Without the proposal, it will not be easy for me to give a feedback on that because sometimes each proposal is very different and unique. So
Yes.
we will not be able to, give out comments blindly as such.
Okay. Okay. Basic preliminary research was conducted. With that available data, we want to go forward with an application. That's what.
That you can do, like I
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. That data is with us. That primary data is with us. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Dr. Ruchi?
Can you hear me
hi.
now? Hi.
Yes,
Hi.
we can. Yes.
Oh,
Please.
I've been trying for so long. Very nice and elaborative presentation. I have two doubts. One is the first one is for the current aspect. I have actually I'm applying for a diagnostic kit. Hello.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
So I've identified the biomarker, but the diagnostic kit I do not know how to develop. And that is what I want your help and want to go for in the BIG grant. So, I mean, please guide in this regard first, and then I'll ask my second question.
Okay, so if you need our help and expertise in, making the diagnostic kit or as far as the technical is done, like for example, you have identified the biomolecule of interest that will react, or how you want the diagnostic kit to be. Is it going to be visual? Is it going to be quantitative? Is it going to be qualitative? Is how many panels are you going to have? And if you have clarity on those lines, on the lines of the idea, we do have the medtech team over here who will be able to, help you come out with a prototype of the diagnostic device. That's not an issue. But we would request you to have the signs in place, how you want it to be, what is it that is going into the diagnostic kit, etc.
No, actually, I'll just give you a brief that it's for oral malignancy. We have identified 3 biomarkers and we've done the ELISA of that. Now I want to use this for development of a diagnostic kit. So,
So under the BIG grant, you have an outsourcing head for which that you can use about 30% of the total of the BIG grant. And using that, you can actually utilize the facilities at CCAMP as part of the MedTech facility and go ahead with your project. No problem.
So how do I mention that?
You can outsource some amount of that for diagnostic catering. But that would only be like around 30% of the project. The rest of it, you will have to carry it by your own. Like for example, even if you've done ELISA, you may have to standardize the limit of detection, sensitivity, specificity, and all of that of the 3 molecules that you have identified. So all of that can be undertaken by the project coordinator.
Project,
the end device, the end kit, that can be undertaken by CCAP.
So, in the proposal, I write of the optimization, and how do I mention? Basically, I'm not getting the clarity of how do.
I will need the proposal from your end to actually finalize things, because this is a public forum and this is a general discussion. I'm sure that you have something proprietary with you at the moment. Wouldn't like to divulge that, but get into that discussion at the moment. But nonetheless, if you can just send us a draft of your proposal, we'll be able to revert.
Okay, thank you. And the second is, I've also applied earlier also in the BIG grant. So they gave a suggestion that it's for R&D. It has something like competing with the existing products. So can I go ahead with the same? Should I go ahead with the same proposal and because I've worked upon some part of it, or should I leave it and then apply for this fresh proposal?
No, because you're already a repeat. You've already applied once. You will be considered as a repeat applicant. So, being a repeat applicant, you will have to declare, because it will reflect on the portal that you are a repeat applicant. And if you're not declaring that with all honesty, it might be taken again.
No, that declaration I'll definitely. Sorry,
but
that
if the
declaration.
comments are, like, for example, if the idea is different in this call, or the comments that were given previously may or may not meet with the BIG milestones or with the timeline, or you feel that this, whatever they're telling is beyond BIG or something like that, you will have to give us your revert as part of the comments.
No, what I am telling is I'll definitely mention it in the BIG that I have applied. I'm a repeat applicant, but that time the technology was different. This time the technology is different. So
that's what I said. You will have to declare that in your revert. You will have to, there is a comment section for
okay.
repeat applicants. In that, you will have to declare what it is.
Okay. Okay. So I'll send the proposal and then we can have one-to-one discussion on that.
Definitely.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Mahalakshmi, if you can please unmute yourself. Because you have a question mentioned in the chat box, which is a little
Yeah.
vague.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, hi. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I joined a little late. I have a question that, not the question, a doubt about applying the big grant, because I've been worked in drug delivery for a particular disease in preclinical model, so I have a result over that. So I just faced an issue in delivering the drug agent, right? So I just want to develop a carrier using a nanotechnology, so to deliver the drug to a specific target.
Yeah, so
That
thank
would
you
be
for
a sort
that,
of
because anything more than this may be proprietary in nature. With the experimental evidence you have, you can put that as preliminary data and go ahead with your application accordingly.
So whether it is necessary to develop a product-based thing, because my mentor has an
It can also be a platform technology, Dr. Mahalakshmi.
Okay.
Need not be a product. So
It will
if
come
you look
under
at the
that.
choices that you have under BIG, you can either be a product, you can be a service, or you can be a platform technology. But you will have to highlight correctly what you are.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Dr. Saransh, if you can please unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Am I
Dr.
audible?
Saransh, please go ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
I cannot hear you now.
We can hear you well, Dr. Saransh. Please go ahead.
I cannot hear you. Anyway, I'm first of all, very nice presentation, very sorted one. First thing first, my problem is like I'm working simultaneously as a technical superintendent in IIT system, and simultaneously I'm studying PhD in the Department of Biomedical Engineering. So I'm first time applying for. I mean prospective applicant for this big grant. So what are the things or the documents which I need to get availed before applying for big grant? As
So,
of now, I
considering that you are associated with a
can't hear you.
academic institute, NOC from the academic institute would be mandatory, along with a letter of intent from either CCAMP or from the incubator of your choice.
I cannot hear you actually.
Can you just have it on the Q&A box so that we can revert live?
Anyway, I'll contact them in the email. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Thank you. If you already have an idea at the moment and you do not have any preliminary data, you can definitely go ahead with your application for the BIG. But please state the literature evidences that, completely support the strategy of work that you have aligned during the 15 to 18 month time. Right. So any further questions? Either you can either raise your hand or you can use the Q&A box. I think we have answered most of the questions in the Q&A box. So if you can please. Yes, Dr. Radhika, please go ahead. Okay. I'll just give it a couple of minutes for any last minute queries. Dr. Radhika, kindly unmute yourself.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, we need to submit NOC, no? We need to submit NOC.
Yes.
Yes.
If you are
Oh,
associated with any academic institution at this
yeah,
point
yeah,
of time, you will have
yeah.
to, yes.
Apart from that, what we require to produce, ma'am, apart from the NOC?
If I just went through the entire list of documents, so are you an individual or a company at this stage?
Individual, I'm a professor in the
If
university.
you are an individual, then you would require an NOC from the institute and a LOI from either CCAMP or any other technology business incubator.
Okay.
Your PAN card, your passport. In case you do not have a passport or your present passport is expired, then you will need an affidavit that states that you are an Indian national.
Okay.
And also a declaration whether or not you hold any shares in a biotech company.
No,
And
no,
a
I didn't have
resume
any.
from your end. And a resume from your end, yes.
Okay, resume also you need. So that letter of intent, you are calling LOA is letter of intent?
Yes.
Letter of intent, NOC, PAN card, and the fourth one, what you said, resume, and fifth one?
Passport or a legal status of your Indian nationality.
Indian nationality. Okay, I have passport. So I can add that passport to copy along with these 5 requirements. Yes, madam?
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to send this before the hand to CCAP. So thereby we can able to know
everything,
that.
No, Dr. Radhika, we've been through this before. Everything has to be uploaded directly on the BIRAC portal. To
Okay.
CCAMP, you will have to share only the draft of your proposal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to send that one to your place and then we have to go ahead that way. Na?
Everything is online. There's no physical copies. Everything is online.
Okay. So we have to upload that in the BILAC site, but a draft will send to you, the CCAMP.
Yeah, after finalizing the draft, the same has to be uploaded on the BIRAC portal.
Okay. So once you send it to the BIRAC portal, that it will start for screening, no? So before to take any inputs from you people, how could I have an access?
That's what I'm telling. Over email, share the draft of your proposal to us. We don't need your nationality proof and all the eligibility documents. We need only the draft of your proposal. And after you have finalized the draft, after we send you the comments, you will finalize your draft. And after that, you can upload onto the BIRAC portal.
Okay. So that will be forward to you through email. That is enough, no? Your email.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That it will be before 1 week before. At least as early as possible, we can send it to you. If we receive the comments, again you correct it. And again, we will upload from the BIRAC.
The deadline is the May 31st and the last day sees a lot of traffic onto the portal. So I leave it to your wise judgment when you want to initiate everything from
Yeah. Before 15th, if you can send to the C.
Yes, it will be convenient for both of us if you can wrap it up.
Yeah. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah. Harjeet, if you can please unmute yourself.
Hello, Nitya ji. Am I audible to you?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, please go ahead, Harjeet.
I would like to ask, I'm a research scientist in a government medical college, Bhopal. I'm a regular faculty over here. So I'm willing to apply for this big grant. So as far these communications were going on over this, so I came to understand that I have to apply on BIRAC as well as in C camp also.
No. All the applications are online on the BIRAC portal. If you need any feedback on your proposal, you can send a draft to us and we will revert with comments. All the uploads are going to happen only on the BIRAC portal. There is no physical copies and there is no engagement to be sent via CCAMP as well. So everything is directly uploaded on the BIRAC portal.
Okay, so do I have to have any prior or I have to select someone from the CCAMP for initiation of this proposal?
You will have to choose CCAMP to be your implementing partner and go ahead with your application.
CCAMP, so how I will identify which person is good for me for in CCAM who will implement?
No. CCAM as such is going to be your implementing partner. There is a BIG management at CCAM who will be doing the needful for you. You need not identify an employee at CCAM for this.
Okay. Achha, one more thing. What is the budget structure that which I will propose in my proof of concept?
It is up to 50 lakhs and you can avail it for equipment, manpower, consumables, travel, IP, contingency, rentals, etc.
Is there any specific guidelines available on the site which says that this much manpower is for this manpower
Yeah,
and this much?
so I think you have joined a little later.
Yeah,
The
I have.
YouTube,
Yes.
so the CCAM channel, on the YouTube CCAM channel, you have the same discussion that we had today morning. It is live streamed at the moment. You will be getting the link about half an hour's time after we close this meeting. So you can go ahead with that. So you can
One
just look
more.
into it and you can
One more.
address everything.
Thank you. One more request. Can you share your PPT because I I have joined
No,
late.
the YouTube channel has the whole thing. So
Okay.
you can go ahead
Okay.
with that. Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
Thank you, Nitin.
Thank you. Yeah. One last question from Dr. Suvarna, and then probably we'll be closing the meeting. So, Dr. Suvarna, if you can please go ahead.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Ma'am, sorry, I have joined little late, but there are two questions from my side.
Yeah.
I have just gone through the BIRAC proposal. By the way, I'm applying for the first time. I'm applying as an individual and I'm working as a professor in Pune, MIT. So my question is, ma'am, while I have gone through the BIRAC, I'm not able to register myself on BIRAC, although as it asked me for incubity name and all details about it. So, my question is, until and unless I get incubated, is it not possible to get registered myself on a portal? That is my first question.
Are you applying in the capacity of a company or an individual?
Individual, ma'am, individual.
If you are an individual, then your name would be the incubating name as well. That's not an issue.
Yeah, but right now I'm trying. In fact, I have sent a mail to
Right.
CCAP
So that's
also
what I said.
regarding the same.
That's what I said. If you are not associated with any TBI, you can declare CCAM to be your implementing partner and incubator. We will generate a letter of intent from our end so that it will facilitate your application.
So until and unless I get LOA, I am not able to register, correct? LOA,
Register.
BIRAC, I have to create my login on BIRAC, no? That is
No,
why.
LOI is not necessary for registration on the BIRAC.
Okay, okay. And ma'am, second question is, I got the reply from your end that I need to submit a proposal. So I have got one enclosed document over there in which there are various information, including the proposal. So do I have to submit an idea along with budget and everything right now to you for just getting it incubated?
Yeah, so not for incubation. For the letter of intent, you need the name of the applicant, which is your name, along with the finalized title of the proposal. So you will be getting a letter of intent from our end and going ahead with your application. In case you need feedback from the BIG experts at CCAM for the technical evaluation of your proposal draft before uploading the finalized version onto the BIRAC portal, you can share with us the proposal.
Yes, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining the session with us. It was really kind of you for investing your afternoon with us. So again, I would like to close the session. If there is anything that is required, please write us an email. The email is on the chat box. I would reiterate that again. It is ccamp_big@ccamp.res.in. Looking forward to your details of the letter of intent as well as the draft of your proposal in case you require feedback from the BIG experts at CCAM. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.